No matter if you like the superhero genre or not in media, we've all had experience in the genre. We've all been up at 12 at night or sitting in the shower and thought, what superpower would I want to have? As a kid born in the early 2000s, of course my favorite superhero was Spider-Man. The more older I got, the more superhero content I didn't consume anymore. I never was really into early Marvel entries, and it wasn't till Guardians of the Galaxy till I kind of got back into watching superhero movies. I was more into Batman at this time. Watching the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, playing the Lego Batman games. Even then, I was starting to get bored of that content. Then Christmas hit. I woke up with a PS3 along with other games for the console. One of those games being Batman Arkham City. Yes, I got the second game before I got the first game. I have continuously played every single entry to the game series since then. And because of these games, the superhero genre as a whole had a resurgence, but did the Batman Arkham series improve superhero genres as a whole? Being a business is hard in the media industry. It sometimes takes a lightning strike of luck to make it. And that's what Rocksteady got. Rocksteady only had one game before making Batman Arkham Asylum, the first Batman entry. That game being Urban Chaos Riot Response, made in 2006. It got mediocre reviews, and it was such a low-end game that I couldn't really find much information about it. EA had the rights to the Batman games in the mid-2000s. The publisher released a movie tie-in game to Batman Begins and was working hard to produce a movie tie-in video game for The Dark Knight 2. However, the developers struggled to release the game on time. As EA didn't release a game, the video game rights to Batman reverted back to Warner Brothers, who then gave the rights to Rocksteady. So how is the game going to come out? Now nearing the start of the 2010s, a lot of games relied more on first-person shooting and third-party action and adventure games. Games that were popular at the time were the COD games. The COD games were a big formula of what you wanted to stand by for video games, and Uncharted, which was also a third-person shooter. Rocksteady decided to take the game in a very dark place that would stand out from others.
We wanted to create a game that was in a dark, gritty environment. Arkham Asylum really lends itself to that.
And Arkham Asylum as well is such a critical location in the history of the Batman universe. It's such a kind of central heartbeat where everything passes through.
And I mean, if you are a smaller game company with this product, you do want to make something that stood out, and you really don't want to mess up the opportunity. And did they? In the first 5 days, Arkham Asylum sold 593,000 copies in North America, according to NPD Group. That's a revenue point of $35.5 million, and that just tripled over time. If it weren't just for the audience reception, look at the critical reception. The top 3 critic sites for games gave it over a 90% out of 100%, along with the players, including me, who enjoyed the story-driven and cinematic approach to the game series, which flows in a way that like you're playing a movie, and was my first experience to a fourth wall break and scared the crap out of me. It literally just made me think my game broke. Do you know how devastating that is to a 12-year-old? The game revolutionized game combat. It went for a more hand-to-hand approach that relied on reaction time, just like other previous PlayStation entries, but took it and improved on it on another level. The game spawned 3 sequels, and one that is considered one of the greatest games of all time, that did what great sequels do: expand the universe, story, and gameplay, and that added more side quests that were on par with the main story. The series wasn't the only one that used the blueprint of this game to make better games. The superhero game industry also took note and changed. After the success of the Batman games, superhero games became more darker and cinematic. They then focused on combat and story, and even Spider-Man tried, but failed, but then succeeded. Even Marvel has found a fresh resurgence of the superhero games, with the new Guardians of the Galaxy that just came out, the new Avengers that just came out, and the Spider-Man games that came out. Marvel found out what made the Batman games so great. Take your hero into a world that they only would live in, give them emotional depth, and upgradable content that includes Easter eggs from past comic book works and past movie properties. A cinematic story, and a villain everyone knows. Batman is a character that has had multiple renditions. It's at a point where if you want to stand out, you have to go for it. People are smart now with media and are not as easily tricked. People want a product that was clearly made by people who respect the property. The industry standard changed after Batman, and I think it went into a great direction.